There, Galen Erso, a brilliant scientist haunted by his past, hid with his family. But the Empire's shadow stretched long, and Orson Krennic, a ruthless Imperial weapons developer, tore through their peace, demanding Galen complete his monstrous creation, the Death Star, a weapon designed to obliterate worlds. Lyra, Galen's wife, fell in the brutal confrontation, but their daughter, Jyn, escaped into the desperate embrace of rebel extremist Saw Gerrera. 15 years later, the rebellion found a glimmer of hope. Bodhi Rook, a cargo pilot, defected from the Empire, carrying a holographic plea from Galen to Saw Gerrera on the sacred desert moon of Jedha. Rebel intelligence officer Cassian Andor, alongside his reprogrammed Imperial droid K2SO, freed Jyn from an Imperial labor camp on Wobani. Mon Mothma, the rebel leader, tasked Jyn with finding her father, hoping to uncover the Death Star's secrets. Unbeknownst to Jyn, Cassian carried a chilling secondary order: eliminate Galen rather than extract him. Their journey led them to Jedha, a world plundered by the Empire for Kyber crystals to fuel the Death Star. Saw Gerrera's partisans fought a desperate, losing battle against the occupation. With the aid of the blind spiritual warrior Chirrut Imwe and his mercenary companion Baze Malbus, Jyn confronted Gerrera, who had held Bodhi captive. In Galen's message, a shocking revelation, he had secretly woven a fatal flaw into the Death Star's design. The schematics, he revealed, were hidden in an Imperial data bank on the planet Scarif. On the Death Star, Krennic ordered a low-power test shot, a horrifying demonstration that vaporized Jedha City. Jyn and her companions, with Bodhi now in tow, fled the moon, leaving Gerrera to perish with his beloved city. Grand Moff Tarkin, seizing the moment, used Bodhi's defection and the security breach as an excuse to wrest control of the Death Star project from Krennic. Bodhi guided the group to Galen's Imperial research facility on Eadu. There, Cassian, confronted with Galen, chose humanity over his orders. Jyn revealed herself just as rebel bombers descended, turning the facility into a fiery inferno. Galen, mortally wounded, died in his daughter's arms. Jyn and her group escaped aboard a stolen Imperial shuttle, leaving a furious Krennic to face Darth Vader's wrath. Vader, unimpressed by Krennic's pleas for an audience with the Emperor, simply ordered him to prevent further failures. Jyn presented a daring plan to the Alliance Council: steal the Death Star schematics. But the Council, paralyzed by fear and despair, refused. Frustrated, Jyn's group, christened Rogue One by Bodhi, led a small band of volunteers to Scarif. Arriving in their stolen Imperial ship, Jyn and Cassian, disguised, infiltrated the data bank with K2SO, while the others created a diversion, battling the Imperial garrison. The rebel fleet, intercepting Imperial communications, mobilized to support the raid. K2SO sacrificed himself so Jyn and Cassian could reach the data. Chirrut fell, activating the master switch to allow the transmission, and Baze died fighting beside him. Bodhi, mortally wounded by a grenade, managed to relay critical information to the fleet they needed to deactivate Scarif's planetary shield. Jyn and Cassian, schematics in hand, were ambushed by Krennic. Cassian, wounded, shot Krennic, buying Jyn precious moments to transmit the plans. The Death Star, now in orbit above Scarif, unleashed another low-power shot, obliterating the compromised base, consuming Krennic, Cassian, and Jyn in its fiery embrace. The rebel fleet, reeling from the loss, prepared to jump to hyperspace, but Vader's flagship emerged from the void. He boarded the rebel command ship, a terrifying specter, slaughtering his way through the crew, desperate to reclaim the schematics. Yet, a small starship, nimble and defiant, slipped away with the precious data. Aboard the fleeing vessel, Princess Leia, clutching the schematics, whispered words of hope, a fragile spark in the encroaching darkness.